I'm feeling good enough to play. I know JD is too, so we'll both be looking forward to going out there and making a difference.
It's as far as unique a challenge as there is to go against individually in the league.
Absolutely, because he's a top five athlete, but also a top five quarterback. So he can really do it all, whether it's through the air or with his feet. So that dynamic, especially with their running game, is tough to handle. It's a lot of things you have to account for, and you have to be able to, play by certain rules to get the result that you're looking for.
Is there a little extra juice when you go against him, just kind of knowing like the challenge he is?
Yeah, I mean it's a big challenge. Him, Ronnie being back, them wanting to be a very physical team and want to run the ball and try to play the game their way, and that's kind of football that we kind of do in the AFC North. So them, they're kind of leading it right now with their mentality and him able to able to run the ball as well. So we like to be able to put that notch on our belt.
Miles, this week John made some comments about guys not taking their work home with them, or maybe just a little more commitment. Do you see the same thing?
Uh, at times, but I think we can all be better as leaders and as followers. And I don't think there should be a problem with leaders and followers, changing between situation to situation. I can't always lead. I'm not always the right person to lead in certain situations. But we all have to be able to serve each other to get where we want to go.
That's actually where I was going to go next year on the leadership council. Is that something that it is on the veterans? Is it on the coaches? Is it even on the younger players to take it upon themselves to kind of get some of these things corrected?
It's on everyone. It always is. It's on the whole building to hold each other accountable. Young guys to young guys, vets to coaches. We all have a job to do and a duty to each other to hold each other accountable. Make sure that going into the game, you know exactly what to do. You have to know your job to be able to execute it. Once you get there, just be in the right place.
Do you see change this week?
I do. I do. Guys showing more attention to detail. I see a lot more meetings, a lot more group meetings and position meetings. So guys really taking it to heart.
As you're coming off a good game, right? 2 sacks and a forced fumble, but the team's in a 3-game losing streak. So, do you do anything differently this week?
I gotta take it a step further. Gotta find a way to be more productive. There are plays always left out there that can change the game. So gotta keep on trying to find a way to make those and whether I free myself up to make those plays or free my teammates up to do to do that. Someone has to make those. So just finding the best way for us to apply pressure and create those game-changing plays.
Grand scheme of things, how big is this game? I know every game's important, but just considering where you guys are at this point of the season, how big is this game Sunday?
I mean, right now it's the biggest game of the season, and that's not only just because it's the next one. Right now, we have to get rolling. It's a very crucial game for us, and the next one will be as well. But we have to focus on this one, division matchup, and going into leading division if we win it. But right now, it's a tough task, and we have our work cut out for us on defense. But I like the guys who we have in this room and who we're gonna play on the field.
How about Deion Jones? He should be able to play this game, he said. What do you think he can add to your defense?
I think he has a lot of savvy, being and in a different place. He's learned different things, picked up a couple of different things, and working with that defense, but also having the experience and coaching that he has from other places. He'll be able to fit in pretty easily. Knowing his coverage wise and also teaching some of that to some of the guys here, with his experience and I think that's invaluable, being able to share his knowledge and pass on how he plays things and how he's able to fly around and make plays as well.
Remind you a little bit of AWOC just in terms of leadership and kind of getting guys lined up and ready to go?
A little bit more quiet. I think that'll take time to get to. A little bit of adjustment period, getting to know guys. But as far as the leadership and the confidence to call this and play it out and execute it, he's up there.
Myles, I know down there this week Lamar was talking about wanting to put on a show because they obviously have things offensively they're trying to get right. I guess can you guys, do you think, match that energy that they have going into this game considering the opponent?
I mean, we're trying to put on the show too. So as far as defense, we're trying to rock out and have a great game against them as well. And I mean, we both know this as competitors, so it's just about who's going to be able to execute and get each other out of each other's game plan.
You said JD is ready to go. How has he looked to you in practice the last couple days?
I mean, he's looked good to me, especially today. He was rolling. He was happy. He was smiling, jumping around, dancing. That's the best I've seen him move in a couple weeks. So, with that kind of energy that he's bringing, I know that Sunday is going to be, a good look for him.
And you referenced it a little bit, the challenge you're facing tomorrow. But what have you learned about how you have to rush it because of his elusiveness?
Just can't open up too many escape lanes for him. Even if you feel like you're rushing at the level, he'll dip behind you. If you feel like you're rushing and you don't counter back quick enough, then he's going to step up and go in the B gap. There's a lot of ways that you have to work together, not just as a single rusher for myself or me and JD. It's all of us, all four of us, having to really create a net and trap this guy because he's able to escape and scramble either way, and he's not afraid to go upfield and run for 40 or stay behind the line and throw for 40. So you have to be able to keep him in the pocket.
Were you guys even able to simulate him this week in practice with what he does?
Absolutely not. I mean, Dobbs is a pretty good look. I mean, he has speed and he can throw the ball. But, I mean, Lamar is unique in his own right and what he can do and what he's shown. I mean, he was MVP for a reason. This guy's special.
Watch the film on Monday. What are your thoughts on just the effort of everybody on defense? Did you see that the effort was there all the way through to the end of the game?
I'm never satisfied with effort. I mean, I feel like you can always look back and see a play where you gave 80 or 90 instead of 100. And those plays, sometimes they come back to bite you and sometimes they don't. So really, it's really just executing those plays and not allowing some of those big position related incidents really come back and get us, because right now effort's not, I don't think, is really the problem. I think guys are really trying hard and playing hard, but being where you're supposed to be is really the problem.
Myles, JJ said, what he said about commitment, and Joel said yesterday that it's a young team, they just don't know how to understand how to win yet, don't understand how to take a step home yet. What do you think is kind of the, lack of a better term, the problem, or what they're talking about specifically?
It's a little bit of both, but nobody has time for either. Nobody cares on Sunday when our opponent shows up and they have their helmets and pads on, how young you are, or whether you're a rookie or a sophomore. Nobody cares if you're in position or out of position, or you worked on this or you saw this look. You have to be ready. You have to line up. You have a man, you're supposed to be with him. Or you have a zone, you're supposed to relate to whoever's in your zone. You have to be able to execute regardless of age or how many looks you've seen, or if you've seen that exact look. You have to be able to make adjustments and play on the fly. At the end of the day, you either execute or you don't. You have to play at a high level and execute and be able to win a rep, even if it's something brand new to you. Just because that's the way of the NFL. They're always scheming. They're always coming up with new things to try to exploit what they've seen from week to week. I mean, that's what they get paid for. We're paid to react and take the ball away.
It seems like a lot of guys going into their second or third year are expected to make really big jumps this season. There's still obviously plenty of time to do that. But do you think that's one of the things that could still get better on this team going forward, is that some of those younger guys, the Jordans and the Grants and the Jacobs and the JRKs have still to reach their potential?
I think so. Those guys, to me, still have very high ceilings as far as athletically, and really what's holding us back is just, as I've said before, executing the calls, being where you're supposed to be. If these guys are able to be where they're supposed to be, I have no fear of them being able to perform their job at the highest level and be able to play or dominate against anyone. So, I really, I think those guys are, one or two plays from being, very, very good. Just have to, take away those one or two plays that have been really taking us out of games or, keeping games from being within striking distance.